Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Datcon Podcast. And in today's episode, we got a couple things coming out of the NFL and, I think the NBA, but I think it's mostly the NFL. Yeah, it's mostly the NFL. All right, starting off our podcast episode for today. The Arizona Cardinals have traded linebacker Isaiah Simmons to the Giants for a 7th round pick? Huh? The Arizona Cardinals have moved on from the 2020 first round pick Isaiah Simmons with about 2 weeks left until week 1 of the regular season of the NFL. Arizona is trading Simmons, now a safety, to the New York Giants. The Giants will send the Cardinals a 2024 7th round pick, sources tell. The move comes less than a week after Simmons played 25 snaps for Arizona in his second preseason game at his new position. He made a switch to defensive back this offseason after playing throughout the Cardinals defense in the first 3 seasons under former coach Cliff Kingsbury and former defensive coordinator Vance Joseph. Arizona is under new general manager Monet Asenfront. I'm not going to say that name. Declined to pick up his 5th-year option earlier this year. Simmons, who was drafted 18th overall in 2020 out of Clemson, entered the league as a positionless player of sorts. He lined up at 4 positions throughout his first 3 seasons, according to sources, including more than 1,300 snaps at inside and outside linebacker. During one of his early conversations with new Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon, Simmons said he didn't want to play linebacker anymore, and he declared in June that he was going to be working exclusively under the defensive backs going forward. Throughout off-season practices, his role in the secondary evolved from lining up a slot corner to primarily playing free safety. Earlier in training camp, Simmons, who was recruited to Clemson as a safety, said he was primarily learning his new position during camp. He said he was comfortable at safety and enjoyed his new position. Simmons struggled in Saturday's preseason loss to the Chiefs, falling a couple of steps behind Chiefs receiver Justin Watson on a touchdown pass, and then not closing on Kansas City quarterback Shane Bucciolini during a 15-yard touchdown run. The Giants play at Arizona in week 2 of the regular season. All right, heading over from Arizona to Santa Clara, the 49ers. The general manager of the 49ers says Trey Lance will most likely stay with the 49ers. Here's what it says. One day after learning that he had lost out on the San Francisco 49ers backup quarterback job, Trey Lance was back at the team facility Thursday, barring a surprise. That's exactly where 49ers general manager John Lynch expects Lance to be reporting to work for the near future. Speaking to KNBR radio in San Francisco on Thursday morning, Lynch said that although the Niners are exploring all options, including a trade for Lance, there's still a strong chance Lance will remain with the team as its 3rd quarterback going into the season. Here's what John Lynch said. That's the most likely option, Lynch said. We're very happy with Trey. The most likely option is that he's here. If we can find a landing spot for Trey, that is a really good one for him and works for our organization, but not something that we turn a blind we that we turn a blind eye to. But that's not where our focus is right now. Our focus is on Trey getting back here and us being the best football team. We're getting close to Pittsburgh in week 1. Lance's status gained an additional dose of unnecessary unclarity Wednesday, with the Niners coach Kyle Shanahan informing that the team is going with Sam Darnold as the backup to start Brock Purdy. That left Lance, the number 3 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, whom San Francisco traded 4 picks, 3 first-round picks, and 1 third-rounder to acquire, disappointed. So disappointed, in fact, that after his conversation with Shanahan and then others with Lynch, the Niners excused Lance from Wednesday's practice to clear his head and come to grips with the current situation. Lynch, who did not offer a clear answer when asked whether Lance had requested trade, said it was a gut punch for Lance. Trey handled it incredibly well with class, Lynch said. He was devastated, and rightfully so. When you put your heart and soul into something and it doesn't come to fruition, you're going to be devastated. That's the type of competitor he is. But we're going in a place where he'll be back in the building today, and we're moving forward. That plan remains for Lance to play in Friday's exhibition game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Shanahan has said Purdy and most of the starters will play to open the game. Then Darnold will replace Purdy, and Lance will follow Darnold. It's unclear whether Brandon Allen, who has been the team's 4th quarterback throughout the preseason, will get any snaps against the Chargers. For Lance, the exhibition final will offer one more showcase opportunity to other teams around the league that might be interested in trading for him. While Lynch denied that San Francisco stopped Lance all offseason, he has previously acknowledged getting calls from interested teams in the run-up to the draft. If the Niners trade Lance, he will count 5,540,956. So around $5 million, and dead money over each of the next 2 seasons, and the team will save $3.76 million in 23 and $5.31 million in 24 against the salary cap. San Francisco is unlikely to simply release Lance because he would count $14.61 million in dead money and intercut an additional charge of $5 million. The fully guaranteed salary Lance is set to make in 24. Given the Niners' recent history of quarterback injuries, they were down to 4th option Josh Johnson in the NFC Championship game on January 29th and ran out of quarterbacks when he suffered a concussion. The team is all but certain to keep their quarterbacks on the roster, which means, barring a worthwhile trade offer, this could make Lance more valuable to San Francisco, even as a number 3 quarterback. Acquiring a future late round pick would be. Trey made incredible leaps and bounce this year, Lynch said. I think his game showed that. I really give him a lot of credit because we didn't like Taylor and offense that highlights what Trey is able to do. But I think he grew from that. He just played within our offense and still showed some of his ability to move around, made lots of plays. Ultimately, Kyle and our coaching staff, they're tasked to make tough decisions, and believe me, this one was painstaking for them. They came to a point where they felt like Sam had won it and nothing was going to change. One player who still is not in the Niners facility is star defensive end Nick Bosa. Bosa is still holding out as he awaits a lucrative contract extension, expect to make him the league's highest paid defensive player. I don't like the situation, Lynch said. Since our team had tenure here, we haven't had a holdout anywhere close to the magnitude. We're working really hard to try to change that, the holdout. We're in communication with his reps. He's a special player. He's going to get a special contract. I can tell you that. Let's see if we can keep your promise, John Lynch. I wonder if you can keep your promise. Going all the way now to, not fully to the east, but to the chilly weathers of Minnesota. The Minnesota Vikings. Jordan Addison is set to plead guilty to a lesser charge. Here's what it says. Minnesota Vikings rookie receiver Jordan Addison has agreed to plead guilty to a misdemeanor speeding charge stemming from his July 20th citation for driving 140 on a local freeway, according to an agreement filed Wednesday with Ramsey District Court. As part of the agreement, a second charge of reckless driving will be dismissed. Addison agreed to pay a total of $686 in fines and fees. The plea will be presented for approval in a September 9th hearing in front of Judge Maria Mitchell. Addison, the 23rd pick of the draft, was originally cited after a Minnesota State Patrol officer recorded him driving at high speeds east of St. Paul shortly after 3 a.m. He told the officer that he was trying to get home to address an emergency with his dog. And in a subsequent statement, Addison said, "I made a mistake and used poor judgment. I recognize and own that. I am going to learn from this and not repeat the behavior. I am truly sorry." All right, we're gonna shift over to the NBA. Here we go. Yesterday was Kobe Bryant's birthday. Today is Kobe Day. The Lakers are set to unveil Kobe Bryant's statue outside of the Crypto Center on February 8th of 2024. Here's what it says. The Los Angeles Lakers will unveil a statue of Kobe Bryant outside their downtown area on February 8th. The 17-time NBA champion Lakers announced the plan Thursday to honor Bryant, the fourth leading scorer in NBA history and a beloved mainstay of the franchise for 20 seasons. Bryant and his daughter Gianna died in the tragic helicopter crash in 2020. R.I.P. Bryant participated in the intentional planning of his statue after his retirement in 2016, according to Lakers. He is the sixth former Lakers player and 17th employee to be honored with the statue in the so-called Star Plaza outside the arena, which has been the Lakers' home since 1999. As you know, Kobe played his entire 20-year NBA career as a Los Angeles Laker, Bryant's wife Vanessa said in a video posted at 8:24 this morning. Since arriving in the city and joining the Lakers organization, he felt at home here playing in the City of Angels. On behalf of the Lakers and my daughters and me, I am so honored that right in the center of Los Angeles, in front of the place known as the house that Kobe built, we are going to unveil his statue so that his legacy can be celebrated forever. The 2/8/24 date of the unveiling is notable. Kobe wore the number 8 and 24 during each half of his Lakers career. Gianna wore number 2 while playing youth basketball. The Bryants were flying together to a basketball competition with 7 others when the helicopter crashed in a fog in Calabasas, California. Bryant's statue will join those of Lakers greats Elgin Baylor, R.I.P., Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Jerry West, and broadcaster Chick Hearn. Star Plaza also includes statues of the Los Angeles Kings, Wayne Gretzky, Luke Rumbolizia, Dustin Brown, and announcer Bob Miller, along with champion boxer Oscar De La Hoya. The Lakers said that they are planning a series of physical tributes to honor Bryant beyond the statue, which is designed by sculptor Julie Robabat. I can't even say her name. Kobe was one of the most extraordinary athletes of all time and one of the most iconic individuals in the history of Los Angeles, Lakers owner Janie Buss said in a statement. There is no place for Kobe to be honored with a statue than here at the center of our city, where everyone can celebrate him and be inspired by his incredible achievements. We still miss you, Mamba. But yeah, we still miss you. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, Shannon Sharp officially is on First Take with the whole First Take crew and Stephen A. Smith. Congrats for you, Shannon Sharp. Hopefully the new career goes well for you on First Take with Shannon Sharp. Thank you guys for coming out to this edition of the Deck Home Podcast. Make sure to follow on Instagram and Twitter and listen to where you can get your podcast on. And remember, be sure to be listening for Monday, August 28th at 9:30 a.m. PST. That's where you'll hear the episode for from a special Twitch streamer that I will be interviewing. But yeah, be ready for that then. Thank you guys for coming out to this edition of the Deck Cohen Podcast. I'm your host, Deck Cohen, and I will see you next time for the next edition of the Deck Cohen Podcast. Your host, Deck Cohen, out.